We'll get started in like 10 seconds. Everyone's a bit slow, so I guess we'll wait. Hi, Alex. People, I don't know, because I started this a bit late, so some people might have like tried to join at the beginning and didn't get in. So I think people might be rejoining right now. Uh, because I know Alan wasn't the last one, so he should definitely be joining in a sec. For now, while you two are here, I just want to make sure. The homework, I forgot to add a doc to it. And me forgetting to add a doc means that like when you turned it in, or if you turned it in, it wouldn't have shown your answers. So if it's possible, you could. So if you did the homework, just tell me in chat, and then I'll help you attach it uh to the homework because I can't really see your homework unless you attached it to the assignment in Google Classroom.
Why you didn't give out a Google Doc?
Yeah, so Google Classroom doesn't actually automatically do that. So I have to add one manually, and I forgot to do that. That's my bad. So some people ended up just making their own doc and then attaching it to Google Classroom. So if you did it on paper, yeah, if you did it on paper, okay. So if it's possible, go to the homework, and then there should be an option that says add work or attach, something along those lines. The point is, you can click on it and you should be able to upload images or Google Docs. So just try to put your homework in it somehow so I can see what problems people had trouble on. Yep, so I'll wait a few minutes for that. Yeah. Okay, so while you guys get that submitted, no attachments for my review 2 yet, but hopefully that'll come in soon. Um, I will get started on the lesson. I still don't know why so many people are missing. All right, so I don't know if Alan, because sometimes Alan joins on like his iPad also or something. So I'm not sure if Alan did that or if Alex changed his name to Alan. It's all very confusing. It's fine though. What's important right now is that if you already turned in your homework, that's all good. If you didn't yet, because there was well, yeah, you can say it's Alex, but I can't tell you two apart. So one person can say they're Alex, and then when you put answers, yeah, okay, so yeah. So if you didn't attach the homework yet, it's okay. I understand that I forgot to put a Google Doc, so there was a bunch of confusion with that. So if you did it on paper or on a separate Google Doc, you can attach that later. For now, I'm going to start posting the first problems because I don't actually believe that we needed to do anything else. Okay, yeah. So we have percentage. And I think I don't think did I go over percentage? I don't think so. I'll just quickly run over percentage. A percent literally means out of 100, right? Now, why 100? Okay, so cent. We can take the word cent and see some common things. Centipede is a bug with it actually has like 40 legs or something, but when scientists first discovered the centipede, they thought it had 100, so they called it the centipede. You have the centurion, which in Roman times was a officer that led 100 people. You have a century, that's 100 years. What else? You have centennial, which is 100 every 100 years. You have a cent, which is 1/100th of a dollar. So the point is, the word cent means 100, and per technically has a lot of meanings. It can mean per, it can mean a bunch of things. But when we talk about percents in math, you can kind of think of it as a fraction. You can think of it as something out of 100. If I say 8%, that's the same thing as 8 out of 100. Got it? So if I say, so if, for example, I told you there are 4 out of 10 dogs, what percent is that? Well, 4/10 is the same thing as 40/100, and we know percent is out of 100, so it would be 40%. That's just an easy way to think of a percentage. We know how to convert fractions over a multiple of 10 to decimal. For example, anything over 10 tenths are really just 0.x, like 0.1 is 1/10, 0.2 is 2/10, etc. So if I say 20%, once again, it's out of 100. So 20% equals 20 over 100. 20 over 100 equals 0.20, which is the same thing as 0.2. So 20% is 0.2. I'm going to start off with this question. Just to figure out what level of understanding you guys are at. So send me the answer to this question. It should be really quick. Alright, so now we have a. Okay, got it. So I don't really care who's who, honestly, as long as you all get it correct. Yeah, so it's 75% because 3/4 is the same thing as 75 over 100, which is 75%. Because percent, once again, per is out of, cent is 100, out of 100. So now, let's see. The percentage is really easy, honestly. Just a round number that humans like to use for math. Here's a load of questions, all relating to moving different things to percentage. Try to send me all your answers in one message, so I'm not spammed with like 500 different smaller ones. Thank you. I am so confused how both real Allens raised their hands at the exact same time. All right, whatever. Keep sending the problems answers. You know. All right, waiting for one more response. I'm gonna start posting the next questions. Oh, this was 1 to 5. Oh, I think we'll assign those for homework. So all right, so I will post. Yeah, percentage over quantity is the same thing. You should be able to figure out that. So I'll just start posting stuff from practice 2B. Once again, it'll just be 1 to 5. And the rest will be for homework. Tell me if you're still working on the questions above and you can't see them, because like you should be at least up to question 2, right? So I'm just assuming that this shows everything. Hopefully that works out. All right, so the last question is 15%. Yeah, so for some of these questions, I'm just gonna go over okay, so if you're working on the bottom questions, just stop for 1 second. I'm just gonna go over one question quickly. And by this one question, it'll apply to a bunch of others. I'm gonna go over question L, which applies to quite a few actually. So how would we solve question L? Well, we're gonna actually simplify this first to the lowest possible, the simplest form, which is 1 to 20. Then we can magnify it almost up to 5 out of 100, and then we bring it to 5%. So for some of these problems, this one as well, first you're going to simplify it as low as you can. Once you simplify it as low as you can, in this case, you would go to 1/5, and you go to 20 over 100, and then you go to 20%. So for a lot of these problems, you have to simplify it very low before you can bring it back up. So this, yeah, so just wanted to go over that quickly. Keep working on the rest. I think we'll spend like 10 more minutes on this maybe, and then I'll go over average and then homework. Okay, so I'll just go over very quickly how we can solve the subparts in question 1. So let's start off by let's start with question A. So after work, A is 8%. A is 8% of 82. This is the same thing as 8/100ths of 82, which is the same thing as what? 2/25ths of 82, right? Now, I'm not gonna lie, this isn't the most helpful. Let me see what the final answer is. Is the final answer just 82 over 25? Yeah, so I mean, the final answer is just 164 over 25. Right, and you can, if you want, you can also convert this into a decimal, which would be like 5 point something. No, 6. Yeah, you can also convert it into a decimal and get 6.56, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, 6.56, I believe. The point is, though, understand that 8% means 8 out of 100. So you can solve this by doing 8/100ths multiplied by 82, or you can do 0.08 multiplied by 82. It doesn't really matter which one you do. Just understand percent means out of 100, and then you can solve the question like that. So we'll spend a few minutes on this one still, and then I'll move on to the next part. Average. Yeah, I'll spend a few more seconds on this one. Okay, so I'm going to start off by, if you still need some time on this part, I'll move this little part up to here, and I'll slide this down so I can post some more problems. So I'm gonna start off by just going over the rough idea of averages. Where's average? Average is down here. Okay, so the word average, of course, means the same amount in everything. So I'm just going to post a quick little explanation that they give. And you can just read it. Average, once again, like these units kind of explain themselves We'll do some problems to make sure you can understand some more complicated variations, but all in all, they're pretty simple. See how small I can make this. Yeah, so read that little thing, and then I'll just give a quick question. Send me this little question. The answer, this is, average of 7, 3, 4, and 6. Send me that when you finish with the other 5 questions, which I think a few people are still on. Okay, yeah. So to solve the average of stuff, the way you do it is by adding everything together and then dividing by the amount of total sets. That's the same thing as, let's just say we had defined the average of 7, 3, 4, and 6. If we have 7, 3, 4, 6, all in like these, let's just pretend these are containers. So generally the way you do it is you find the total by adding them all together. The total would be 7 plus 3 plus 4 plus 6 being 20. Then you divide it by the amount of places it has to go, getting 5 in each. So the average would be 5. So the formula, you could call it a formula. The formula for solving the average is adding everything together, which if you think about it, is really just finding the total. And then you divide it by the amount of containers, and it's not always containers, but divide it by like the amount of things that you're dividing it into. And that would be your answer. So it looks like I can scroll down to here. I'm now going to send some, there's a ton of average problems here, which I kind of can just skip. Practice 3A, I think, will be for homework. So I can just post these one by one. All right, give me a second. I'm going to slide this over. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to bring this down in case you're still working on it. I'll label these questions in a second. Question 2. Actually, we already have questions up here, so actually, yeah, question 1 and question 2. I'll figure it out by context because like there's 2 question 3s, right? I'll figure it out by context which one you're doing. These questions are a bit easy. Okay, so I can scroll down to here now. So go post practice for and then you guys can start the homework afterwards. So this is going to be a ton of problems, and as a result of that, you might not be able to see it very well. If you can't see it very well, you can open up the textbook. 5B, of course, we're on a new textbook. And what just happened? Okay. Yeah, so this will be in the textbook if you want to see it. It's practice for EA. If it's too small, you can open up the textbook. If you can see it perfectly fine, that's wonderful. Once you finish these, you can move on to the homework, which I will have posted in just a minute. Yeah, the homework is a lot. Okay, well, no, I'll put it this way. The homework looks like a lot, but I think it's actually less than last week. You might think it's a lot of homework. It's really not. There's a lot of sections, but like averages are like so easy. It's not even funny. Like an entire it'll say like exercise 25 all, but in reality it's like 4 plus 6 plus 7 divided by 3, and you do it like twice and then you're done. So the homework this week is not actually that much. You can start the homework after you send me the answers. All right, so you guys can start working on the homework. You don't need to work on these problems anymore. If you the amount that you did, send them in chat. It's like the ones that you did do, send them in chat, but the rest you can just stop doing and you can move on to the homework. Good job, good job. And you guys can also leave the you can leave the Zoom now. Yeah, all right, I'm gonna end the meeting. Good luck on the homework.